I am reviewing quite a lot of different handhelds in the last couple of years, where I found a lot of hidden gems, but also a lot of crap when it comes to the marketplace. When also looking into the X64 handhelds, we are paying so much money for it and they get quite quickly outdated. But now thanks to the Asus ROG Ally, yup, there is a company coming out and bringing something new to the table. Finally, we're going to get ourselves a device that's going to be a great affordable price in my opinion, and we're also going to get ourselves a crazy good performance. I have checked out a couple of videos here on YouTube and I've realized this is going to be the next level. Maybe this is going to be game over for all of those companies in China. If this is going to be, that is something we will see in the future. But now with the new ROG Ally, we're going to get ourselves amazing performance, but also a 120Hz Full HD display and custom AMD Ryzen chip that is so powerful that we can emulate all kinds of games. It's clear to see that the embargo has been lifted. A lot of fellow creators are making like different kind of style videos. And did check a couple of them out just to see what are we going to get. Is this a product that I'm personally going to purchase myself? Because I really enjoy myself the Steam Deck and some other devices laying around. And is this something you should even pick up? Or is this going to be another handheld in the overflow of X86 devices? And is it just going to be another hype train? My first stop I wanted to go is to my good friend Ross from the Retro Game Core channel. And I love this guy. He's like full ASMR mode when it comes to making reviews, and he's nitpicking about all the things that I find very important, including how the D-pad and buttons work. But also, how is this thing comfortable? Is it going to be any good, or is it going to be absolutely rubbish? Because some of the handhelds I've reviewed in the last couple of years will have this weird form factor that is not comfortable at all. I enjoyed myself the Steam Deck back in the day when it released, simply because the thing was very comfortable in my hands and I just really enjoyed it. And of course, it's Steam. Like, man, I love Steam myself, I love the platform, and one of my favorite company bringing out a handheld. It looks kinda clunky, but it doesn't feel that clunky. Of course it's huge, don't get me wrong, but the way and the ergonomic about the device itself is absolutely worth it. It was a little bit of a bummer back in the day that it took forever to get them stock, so the scalpers were going all crazy, so we needed to pay over $1,000 for this thing that was absolutely overpriced. But I really enjoyed it because I really could enjoy and play some old school indie games. And that's the thing I also want to point out. I'm not a AAA gamer, I mostly play old school retro emulation or just play some old school games or some indie games, Broforce and Cuphead, you know, stuff like that. That's the thing that I mostly play. Emulation, I think the Steam Deck is absolutely great, but when it comes to the Steam Deck, it's also completely overpowered and overpriced for some of the platforms. Think about a Game Boy, an NES, or if you just want to play some Mega Drive, there are a gazillion ways to play. There are so many great options and very cheap devices that can play these games just fine. For emulation, where it really started to be interesting, that we can play some Sega Saturn on the go fairly easy. And the Steam Deck was absolutely amazing for it. So one of the platforms I really enjoy on the Steam Deck is that we're going to have N64 emulation that works finally great. So when we're having like cheap devices for around like 150 had like so many issues, and I can just enjoy these old school games and they look even better sometimes than my original NES with my HDMI upscaling. But okay, so we're having so many cool platforms that play well on the Steam Deck. So in my opinion, don't need to like upgrade to a ROG Ally if you're like me, just playing indie games and just want to enjoy some, let's say, emulation. But there was one particular thing, I think this is also why reason I just wanted to order one of them myself. Because when it comes to the ROG Ally and also emulation, we're going to get some crazy performance over here, where we need to do a lot of tinkering, and thanks to the community, there was a lot of like updating going around, getting some of the games better playable, but still we had some minor limitations with the Steam Deck. While looking into emulation and of course Russ's channel, I've checked out and find out that this is absolutely the ROG Ally is an extreme beast when it comes to emulation, where we can even upscale 4 times resolution with the PP core and some God of War change of kinkiness. It's absolutely nuts. So like I mentioned before, the Steam Deck was a great piece of technology and it's so cool to bring all of my indie games on the go. Unfortunate, we did have some limitations where the Proton software is getting better and better, and we're still going to get more games going to be optimized for the Steam Deck. It's just so cool to see it. But there is an unfortunate thing when it comes to it, and that's of course the internal power. but still have some limitations when it comes to AAA games. The old school stuff like Mortal Kombat number 9 works just fine and we can play it. Of course we don't have like a high resolution display, so also that is better in my opinion, and I don't really find it bothering that we don't play on a full HD display. I enjoyed myself for many hours when it comes to playing some Orcs Must Die 3, another game that is not super demanding and plays very well on this Steam Deck and of course the SteamOS combined. But I was really curious, how is it with the AAA gaming? So ETA Prime did an amazing video with this. First of all, he did like an ETA Prime moment where he just talked about these specifications, and where he's going to put both devices, the Steam Deck and the new ROG Ally, next to each other. In my opinion, man, the ROG Ally is absolutely a beast when it comes to specifications, and in particular the money you're paying for it. Resulting that we're going to get amazing performance when it comes to the ROG Ally. A lot of AAA games that will need to put in lower medium specs. It doesn't matter, it doesn't spoil the fun, because this thing can basically play a lot of games. Russ from Retro Game Course even shows off like a couple of these devices, like the GPD, the Eony Air Plus and all the other different devices. Beside the GPD Win 4 that I still wanted to try here on the channel, I'm just going to be honest, the ROG Ally, it's going to be the new emulation beast and AAA gaming machine. I'm really curious what the Chinese will do. In my opinion, most of these devices are obsolete, and I find a little bit of bummer for the people who went back to, let's say, an Indiegogo and spent a lot of money on a certain device. That is, in my opinion, way overpriced now, because the ROG Ally makes all of them obsolete. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of this? What kind of handle do you own and what will be your favorite one? So where the Steam Deck is a very clunky device and it comes with a lot of flaws, still the Steam Deck has like an absolutely little place in my heart, because it's Steam and I love it. Take also in consideration it runs on the SteamOS, or at least mine version. I think Windows is compatible nowadays with it, and also we can even slap some Bodashira to make it like an ultimate portable emulation beast. I'm just going to play a lot of games that I'm always playing on the Ally ROG. I'm really looking forward to check them out on higher resolution and how vibrant and colorful they will look on this display, 120 Hz. I did notice, like Russ says something, that he didn't really see the difference, so that's also an interesting thing I just wanted to see also for myself. But of course, particularly when I'm going to play is of course the indie games that I'm always playing. And for these games I don't really need an Asus ROG Ally. For example, I don't need to have full HD, I really don't care about those. I can just really enjoy those indie games on my television if I'm even going to combine this with a docking. If you want to see more information, I will leave links in the channels for Retro Game Core and ETA Prime with all the videos they've made. I ordered myself the ROG Ally, so in the future I want to make my own videos and testing. And it would be great if you subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell, and I will see you in the next video.